Hi, this is a recommendation report presentation ascertaining which vehicle, self-driving or ordinary, is optimal for safely traveling on the roadways. Abstract. This presentation investigates which vehicle is a safer option on the roadways between ordinary and self-driving vehicles. In this presentation, the vehicles are distinguished from one another by how well each vehicle can protect, endure, and prevent an incident. Specific criteria considered include reliability of man-machine vehicle systems and the effectiveness of sensor technology in autonomous vehicles. Introduction. Purpose. The purpose of this presentation is to scrutinize the safety of self-driving and fully autonomous and semi-autonomous vehicles, ultimately ascertaining which of the two offers more protection to the driver. Introduction. Scope. Determining which vehicle is safer to operate, we use the specific criteria. The specific criteria not considered include the crash rate due to the operator's age, vehicle's condition, and unforeseen natural disasters. Examining news articles, government reports, and research databases, as well as considering the reliability of man-machine vehicle systems and the effectiveness of sensor technologies in autonomous vehicles, we investigate the limitation, faults, and technologies of both vehicles. Introduction. Background. Self-driving cars being tested in real world have actually shown to have a higher crash rate than conventional vehicles. Although technology can help a driver reach their destination safely, there are several flaws within the various levels of vehicle autonomy. We should discuss the fatality rate of all registered vehicles and proceed from there. Considering a line graph of all motor vehicle deaths from 1913 to 2019 in the US suggests an upward trend in fatalities from 2015 onward. Factors behind the 2015 spike include driver distractions, intoxications, and vehicle limitations and faults. Technology has increased significantly in the 21st century. However, the technology is still far from foolproof. As it stands today, regular cars may be the safer alternative to driverless cars. But that may change in the near future as we adapt to the ever-changing driver needs, gain more data, and proceed to advance in autonomous technology. Here is a line graph from 1913 to 2019. As you can see, here is the 2015 spike. As we go upward, it is an abnormal spike, which raises huge concerns from multiple parties. Discussion. Reliability of man-machine vehicle systems. Explanation. The reliability of machine-operated vehicles depends on multiple factors, including driver distractions, changes in driver functions, and improper use of vehicle, aka human error. One way to mitigate the risk associated with driving is to standardizing all vehicles on the roadways today. By eliminating one of the human-driven vehicles or autonomous vehicles, we would lead to a more conclusive environment. What I mean by that is, if all the cars were linked together via autonomy or via basic driving, we would all have a medium where we could all meet and the roadways would be much, much safer. Despite human-driven vehicles being involved in less fatalities, it is crucial to inspect how human-driven vehicles can endanger the general surroundings and how driverless vehicles aim to eliminate such interactions to determine which vehicle is actually safer to operate. Discussion. Reliability of man-machine vehicle systems. Data. Over 90% of crashes are due to human error. 660,000 drivers are using their cell phone while using their car at any moment of the day. You're 20 times more likely to crash while you are texting and driving than while you are not. Distractions such as texting and driving, looking at the GPS, and even taking a sip of some water may lead to huge consequences because you give up your hands and your eyes in one given moment. A moment on the roadways can be costly and devastating, endangering your life and many others on the roadways. These distractions give away the driver's complete control of the wheel and are unable to interact on the road that they are on. The government, insurance companies, and even the medical community are all intrigued by the introduction of autonomous vehicles. In September, there were significant actions in Washington demonstrating the bipartisan focus on advancing self-driving technology. Discussion: reliability of man-machine vehicle systems interpretation. On the surface, the data suggests that if we all had driverless vehicles, we would eliminate the crash rate by 90%. Okay, sure. But data is only as good as how long you've had that data. So, for instance, we've obviously only had driverless cars for a short amount of time. But if we look at since 1913, as you see in that graph, we've been driving regular vehicles. So that data is obviously going to be much more prone to outlier than what the regular car would show. So on the surface, this is too good to be true. Texting while driving can reduce reaction times considerably, rendering operators useless in any circumstance. A distracted driver can simply run into another vehicle, no matter how advanced the other vehicle is. However, if an automated vehicle can help mitigate driver distractions, then there are still human-driven vehicles on the roadways that can render any advanced automated technologies useless. Discussion: sensor technology in autonomous vehicles. Explanation: sensor technologies can aid human-driven and fully automated technologies by offering added protection. Advanced in avoidance and maneuvering systems can assist an autonomous vehicle to identify obstacles and hazards, and even notify a driver of an incoming collision. Preemptive measures such as LiDAR imaging can help forecast an impending impact. Fully automated vehicles also use these technologies and more, but lack an error corrector to intervene if something goes astray. Although fully automated vehicles do not need a human intervention, passengers may be aware of a danger that the vehicle has not accounted for, and there would be no way for the vehicle to maneuver. So if I was in the car, I'd have no way to take the wheel and avert a possible collision. Discussion: sensor technology in autonomous vehicles. Data: the use of LiDAR lasers and assistive driving technologies improves the capability of self-driving systems. Autonomous vehicles can provide safety measures that many human-driven vehicles simply cannot. Crashes and fatalities caused by human error, such as rear-ending another vehicle from behind because the driver wasn't paying attention, can be almost certainly eliminated from the roadways. Self-driving cars currently have a higher rate of accidents per million than human-driven cars, 9.1 compared to 4.1, but their injuries are much less severe. However, data also suggests that a U.S. driver needs to travel about 165,000 miles, or 10 years, before having an accident. In contrast, Google claimed that at one time its AV, autonomous vehicle, had traveled more than 300,000 miles accident-free. Hence, the AV can mitigate errors, but are also less suited than humans to adapt to an unexpected outcome. The various levels of autonomy are classified as levels 1 to 5, ranging from constant driver interaction to little or no driver interaction at all. At level 1, there is full driver vehicle engagement. At levels 2 and 3, there is less, but the human is still in full control. At levels 4 and 5, it is fully autonomous, and the vehicle is responsible for all maneuvering and driving. Hence, that Teslas are advanced driver assisted vehicles that are not fully autonomous. Discussion: sensor technology and autonomous vehicles. Interpretation: human-driven vehicles equipped with sensor technologies can help drivers stay aware in case of distractions and potential hazards. By comparison, AVs are prepared to eliminate all human error from the roadways, but still cannot account for and resolve mid-operation malfunctions. For instance, an HV's driver, human-driven vehicle's driver, may become distracted and risk all other vehicles on the roadways, including themselves. Although distractions are impossible with AVs, they are still far from foolproof and still susceptible to malfunctions and miscalculations. Autonomous vehicles accompanied by a driver to intervene should be considered as the rational option, even if the vehicle is capable of full autonomy. Conclusion, summary, recap. This recommendation report use the reliability of man-machine vehicle systems and the effectiveness of sensor technologies in autonomous vehicles as specific criteria. The criteria determined which vehicle, AV or HV, is optimal for traveling safely on the roadways. Data regarding fatalities by year, miles driven without an accident, and crashes due to a human error suggest that there are numerous pros and cons to both vehicles. Evaluating both vehicles, there are a number of fatalities arose with each mile driven. To clearly distinguish the criteria of fatalities and incidents per mile into two separate subcategories, the number of miles each vehicle made without an incident was carefully prioritized and assessed throughout this report presentation. Conclusions. Considering the sheer number of miles driven without fully autonomous vehicle, they're unmatched by their HV counterpart. With respect to the number of fatalities, AV has also shown to be superior as they result in fewer fatalities and less severe injuries. In comparison, human-driven vehicles equipped with advanced sensor technologies to intervene when necessary offer tremendous protections to their users. No matter how complex technology and how smart a human may be, they are ultimately going to fail on any task. However, if a human-driven vehicle can rely on sensor technologies as a fail-safe, it can help drivers stay aware in case of distractions, incoming collisions, and potential hazards. This hybrid of HV and AV offers all the advanced safety features that an AV contains, but with a human operator. Recommendation. My recommendation is that human-driven vehicles equipped with levels 2 to 3 technology to intervene are recommended as the optimally safe option for drivers. This hybrid of AV and HV with the levels 2 to 3 autonomy is a great mix for safe travels. If you have any further questions or inquiries, please contact me at this email or my phone number listed here. Of course, the references used to make this report presentation is as follows. Thank you for listening, and have a wonderful evening.